Hi, and welcome. It is Sunday at 8 p.m. live with Judy K. Well, thanks for joining in. Tonight's subject is it's very it's sad um, because I'm going to be talking about our pets, our loved, the pets that we love, and their passing and different things like that. So that'll be later on the broadcast. But before we get started, I want to say thank you for joining us, and remember to leave your comments. Oh, okay, Michelle Pierce, very good. All right, the comments. Andrew's been working on this new equipment that he has, and comments are coming right in, so he knows too. So Andrew will start taking names now for the card pull, which will book. Remember, if you won within the past 3 lives, you're it has to take 3 lives, and then you're eligible again. And remember, only ask once. Don't drive that poor man crazy. Oh, have you, Michelle? I'm so sorry. Yeah, she just lost her kitty, and that's why I'm going to bring this back so you all can see Kafra and Kufu's faces. I have Kafra and Kufu here, and Andrew is at another location doing his technical thing, which he does so well. And John is down the hall, and we cannot thank you enough for it. It's an enormous amount of happy anniversaries for us. I posted that. I do it every year because it's the only time I really take a moment to look at our wedding photos, and I picked a different one this year. But thank you so much for your kind words about it. Yeah, it's been 17 years, which it's surprising. Why is it surprising? Because we met later in life, and you think, oh, can you really get to the milestone numbers? And yes, you can. And you know what, 17 years and we're still madly in love with each other. Sometimes mad, but mostly in love with each other. I'm only kidding. No, everybody that's seen us knows we've got a very good relationship. So let's say, here we go. Let's say, so we have just going through my notes here. Hi, Natalie. Hi, Kay. All right. Now, the expos. Now, some people have contacted me already about pre-booking at the Woodbridge Psychic Fair. That, as I said, it's only, let's say I'm in there from 11 to 5, and 5 I have to be shutting down and everything. Um, it's very, very hard. So the pre-books won't start until probably the beginning of September. I'm going to have a date, and that'll be it, because I can only take pre-books now. Oh, I'm sorry, Kelly. She just lost your Oh my gosh, Aunt Kelly, that is so sad. I'm so sorry. And we are talking about pets tonight. But the one thing, let me tell you, is it's the same. It's gonna be the same thing as it is with our deceased loved ones, family members, and friends, and things like that. It doesn't matter if, and I only do domestic animals. I do dogs, I do cats, I can do horses, I can do birds, things like that. I don't do wildlife because the interaction, it might be a little bit, but it's not a big interaction. So I keep my messages, because during your readings, you can always, ask for different pets, living or deceased. And I do that. But as I said, I only keep it for domestic animals. So, hi, everyone. And okay, so I think I got all that. So, Woodbridge Psychic Fair, remember, September the 20th from 11 to 5. And the Festival of Light Psychic Fair, which is West Virginia, Berkeley Springs. Berkeley Springs is wonderful. Really love it. We'll be there Saturday, November 8th and Sunday, November 9th. And everybody says, is John going to be there? Yeah, John's going to be there. All right. So, oh yeah, he finally caught me live. Yeah, that's hard. All right, now remember, you can always call me to schedule, because it's by appointment only, in my Cherry Hill office. If you'd like a half-hour reading, half-hour healing, hour healing, what you like, you can go on my website. It's running here down the bottom, and you could see, and you can contact me through the website, or you can call or text me at the number below. Okay. All right. Let's see. That's the house. Oh, and parties. Parties are going crazy. I still have some dates left for some psychic parties. If you'd like to have me come out and do either a private readings party at your home, or a gallery reading at your home. Okay, so you can all you do is contact me for prices. It's not on my website because I have to do it per location. All right, so let me see what we're going to do. We're going to go to this page now. The prayer list, and we need some heavy prayers here. Jen Sanchez's father, he's not doing very well at all. So please keep Jen Sanchez and her whole family, and of course her dad, who's Anthony Brunetti, in your prayers. All right, Carmen Tumaine, she still has a lot of different treatments she's getting. Please keep her in your prayers. And Hosner, she's a good friend. Not a good friend. She's a sister of one of my good clients, and she's been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And please keep her in your prayers. Kay Rapp is having treatments and health issues. Tim Merrick, Dee Gusha, and Diane Lopresti, they're all having health issues. And there's so many of us, and maybe you didn't contact me to be on the prayer list, but let's just do a general prayer list across the board, but mostly for the people I mentioned. All right. Now remember, you can watch this live on YouTube at Judy K Profession and at Judy K Psychic Medium Official on that one. I'm jumping around with words tonight, but we've had a very hectic weekend, and I'm sorry about that. But when I get into the subject, we'll be fine. All right. Now remember, you can leave comments here on the live here, or you can leave comments about today's subject on YouTube, and I will get to them. I won't get to them tonight probably, but I'll get to them. And sometimes your comments actually go for what the live subject matter is going to be about. Okay, so that's nice. So if you have an idea for live subject matter, you can do that. But remember, live subject matter has to be across the board, not just for you. Okay, like tonight, I'm talking about deceased pets. So if deceased pets, and that would be something that I would talk about. But if you said, I need information about Susie, my, my dog or whatever, I wouldn't do that. It's just something that everyone can get something on. But I'm glad you all have joined us for that. All right. So remember, it's okay. Put the comments in there. All right. Okay. So with the deceased pets. Now, the biggest question is, do they really return to us? We've all lost, not we all have, but we've either, it's happened to us or it's happened to someone dear to us. They have lost their dog or their cat, their bird, or another type of animal, horse. Do they return to us? Yes, they do. And the funniest part of this, and a lot of you might have already heard me, because with, and wait a minute, I know I wanted to say something else. I couldn't remember what it was. Do you see the little twirly bird in the pictures there with Khufu and Khafra? That actually is just the ceiling light. So that's not Sandy tonight. That's technical. All right. So what happens is John actually sees our deceased dogs more than I do. And you say, how can he see it more than you do? Well, don't forget, I have to protect myself when I'm not working. So I put a little barrier up so I'm not seeing this one and that person or whatever. But that it is. But John, and he's very gifted, he can say, oh my gosh, one just came down the hall. So he'll see them. Now, sometimes you don't see the whole animal, but you'll see a quick flash. So the best, I knew there was a small, I'm sorry, Jen, I knew there was a small, I can't say rodent, but I couldn't remember it being a hedgehog. I remember us talking about that. Yeah. But what happens is they do come back because it's their home. Now, what happens if you move? If you move, they move. You can't run from them. You can't hide from them. They'll find you. All right. And they will come and visit you. Now, sometimes what they'll do is you'll feel them like, how, like you just lost your kitty, and my Agnes, my one Maltese used to do, she used to go around my ankles, and I'll feel a movement just like that going around my ankles. And sometimes they do it. They do it when you're upset about something. Now, I'm not talking about the official they're passing. I'm talking about a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years later. Sometimes that's when they come in because they know that you need them. Now, how do they know you need them? just like your deceased loved ones. They know what's going through. Don't think they don't know anything. They know a lot more than we give it credit for. All right. Now, sometimes they can do some wild and crazy things. And I've got a couple of pictures that will show you some deceased wild and crazy things. Now, I thought about posting them on Facebook or something before the live, but then you couldn't go back and forth. So I'm going to put it up on the screen in a little while. Now, Rosie and Daddy love playing ball. She had her certain little balls, and we have it. We always bought more of them just in case we would lose them or whatever. But she had balls, and I don't have any here. It's a shame. They're about this big, and they would come in bright colors with like a crazy face on them or whatever. And they squeaked. And she didn't being a Maltese, she could run down the hallway, bring them back, and Daddy would throw it again. Well, what happened is, and this is what you got. Before I finish that, I'm going to tell you something. When you're hurting, so when you see their bowls on the floor, when you see their dog bed, it breaks your heart. It does. Or your cat bed or your cat toys or what have you. See, I'm a dog person. I used to have a cat, but now I'm in dogs for a number of years. So that's why I'm going to use dogs, but you can use it for any kind of pet. You can even use for birds in a cage, okay? But what happens is, don't take the stuff away immediately. You can move it a little bit, but sometimes they wonder why their bowls are gone. Now, it's not that they need the water, it's not that they need the food, but every so often, maybe put a bowl somewhere. So at least you can take it away. They don't need it after a while. But it's that they don't know, well, they do know they passed. They understand that, and they don't have any more boo boos or anything. But the whole thing is, let's try to make it as much as comfortable as we can for it, okay? But what Rosie did was hysterical. All of a sudden, John and I were in the living room. I think we were sitting there watching TV for the best of my recollection. He'll probably remember more than me. And all of a sudden, her green ball, we didn't even know it was in the kitchen, comes rolling from the kitchen into the living room. We don't have any dogs. We didn't at that time. There weren't any dogs in the house. My house is level. It's not like one of the, when you watch some of the Ghostbuster movies or whatever, the house is not level. This is level. And the ball had no reason to roll. And if it did, why that day? So it was her just saying hi. So the ball rolled for her to say hi to us. Now, as you recall, we have Gracie now, and Gracie's been here 2.5 months. And I had something underneath the piano bench, and you couldn't see, but one of Rosie's balls was actually stuck under one of the pedals to the piano. That's yeah, kind of stuck. So anyway, when I moved it, I thought, oh, there's a ball, right? Well, we left it there for a while, and then it got moved, and guess where it is? It's back underneath the piano. What do you call it? The foot pedal. She put it back. I don't care. She's like, I don't care if Gracie's here or not. My ball's staying right there. So you don't forget me. All right. Isn't that nice? You see how they are? See how they'll outthink you. Just like when they're alive. Your pets have outthought you. And they're still doing it. She's a step. And I'll tell you, Gracie will not touch that ball. No way, no how is Gracie touching that ball. Sometimes she looks down the hallway and goes, ooh. I think they've read her the riot act and what she's allowed to tell and what she's not. Yeah, let's see. Michelle said her full day the day before and told her how beautiful it would be over the Rainbow Bridge. Absolutely. And when you put your pet, and I've done a number of times, I've had lots of pets over the years, and even once is too much. But when they're lying there and they give them the first shot, it's just a little tranquilizer, and you don't even see them pass. But I see them pass. In fact, one time the vet was given the shot, and I looked at the vet and I said, she's gone now. And he just looked at me because that was his call to make. But I knew she left, and I couldn't help it. I knew she'd already left, and that was fine because I could feel her relief. Okay. And don't you know, she was in the car with John and I on the way home? Her soul was. I mean, maybe her body was, but her soul was too. All right. So Don't be, it breaks your heart, just like any separation breaks your heart. But realize they're still with you. And I'm going to show you something today that shows it doesn't matter how many years. All right. Now, they could be the one that steals the socks. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, Rosie's moving that ball and nobody's going to touch that ball. And we left it there now. We're thinking, okay, she wins. She can have her ball there, and it makes her feel good. All right. Now, if you have, and I had a client earlier this week who precious little baby is older but not doing well. And you have to realize, everyone, that the dog, cat, or bird or whatever can't say, I really feel lousy. I really do. I mean, they can have medication, they can help, but sometimes you have to be the one to say, okay, you've done enough. It's hard for you, but it's hard for them. But it's better, even though their life is ending, their life in spirit just begins, okay? And they'll be with you. Remember that. And I do have, let's see, I'm going to, okay, so I said that. All right, so now you're ready for some old pics. Now, let's see, I get that. I'm going to set it up. Now, if you've come into my office, and if you've seen my desk that I read on in there. Now, this desk here, right here, this is a family antique. I used to read on that. Now, when I moved into the office, I got one. I thought, well, I need something, with the wing, the lifts, the, how do you call it? They're not wings. They, where you can make the tables smaller or larger. So what happened was I got this, and my Troy, I lost my Troy. All right. Troy was one of my champion Maltese, and I loved Troy to pieces, and he was such a good dog. He really was. Well, one day I was having lunch, and I went to Panera Bread, and I got soup. So I brought it back to the office, and Troy had been gone for a few years. And when I got to the office, I didn't want anything to happen to my tablecloth. The table I bought used, this was not a cherished table, is why I was telling you about it, with the leaves. That's what they were, the leaves. So I moved the tablecloth up so in case the soup spilled. And I'm going to show you a picture that was put into my desk. Now, if anybody knows me, you know I cannot draw a straight line with a ruler. Okay? So, if you can see on the desk, I don't know how it's going to come up from, I can see it on here. You see Troy's eyes and his nose. And at the top of his head, he has show bows. And they were the show bows that, in fact, I still own them. Those show bows were his when he was in the show ring. This is embedded in my table. Nobody in the office knew about Troy. None of the workers, and not that they're going to come in to my, my office, my gosh, it's gorgeous. And those people wouldn't, come into my office to do something like that. But Troy did it to let me know he's still with me. I'll post this on Facebook later, okay? Now, let's go to another picture. Many years ago, hold on, I want to switch over. This one's going to be a little harder to, let me see. Oh, there we go. This is a little harder to say. Of course, John's an electrician, so we have good security cameras. So, we were out, we were having lunch, and John says, let me check on the dogs, because a couple of them were still alive at that time. And you should have seen his face. I mean, his face just like dropped, and he shut his phone off, and he put his phone down. And I said, what is it? And this one's harder to see. Hold on. I can see the nose. Let me see if there's another one here that's better. I'm sorry to take that. I tried doing this before, but this is, I don't know how good this is going to come up. So here it is. With the head, and you see the nose, and it's a longer muzzle than Troy. This was my Nikki Hilton. Now, Nikki Hilton was Troy's aunt, and unfortunately, she passed at 6 years old. due to a, what should I say, a dog fit. All right, anyway. So there we are, and that is her. Now, you have to realize that picture, this is the best part of the story. Hold on, I got to close this out. Okay. The camera was this high off the floor. Okay. The camera was here, and it was on a shelf right above that. So for Nikki Hilton to get herself looking in the camera like, hey, daddy, and that's what she was doing because I was watching it because this was live, okay, that he took pictures of. She's like this, hey, daddy. She had to lift all the way up there. So there she was in the air looking at the camera. Now look at this. How did she know we were looking at her at the camera? And she had been gone at this time. Oh my gosh, she's got to be going 10 years, I would think. I think it was, so she was probably gone about 6 years when this was taken, maybe 7, I don't know. You know how time flies. But that was Nikki Hilton. All right, let me see if I have one more for you. Let me see. No, we have that. Oh, yeah, I do have one more for you. Again, this is going to be hard to say. Now, you know me talking about my little Agnes. And here she is, and she had been gone about a year, I think, at this point. And she was actually sitting on the sofa while we weren't home. Again, we saw this with the security cameras. Here is little Agnes there. You can see her little eyes, and that was her head, the way the hair came over this way. That was little Agnes sitting on the sofa. So they're here when we're not. All right. So you might have lost some of the holding them and loving them, but even doesn't matter if it's 10 years. It doesn't matter how many years. They're there watching over you, and you'll all be joined together at the end. Okay? Well, I know this was a deep conversation, and it was sad, and I didn't have a chance to read everybody's comments or anything, even though they're here tonight, and I can't. But please stay strong, because the one thing that you can do for your deceased pets is show them love, happiness, joke with them, smile at them, and ask them to come over. Say, come on, sit with mommy. Okay? All right. Now, I'm running a little late here, so let's go and do the tarot pump thing. Wait a minute. Let me find it. 1 second here. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay, I got an itch. All right. Bonnie Shakovsky, you're a winner tonight. Let's see. Oh, Carmen Tunain, you're a winner. And okay. And okay, Jen Sanchez. Okay, you're a winner too. All right. All right. So let me know. Let me know if you want general finances, romance, career, anything like that. Let me know. And we'll start picking the cards. And after I pick the cards, then we'll do the healing. Oh, Karen, I'm so sorry. Your baby died 2 weeks ago. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, a few friends passed. Yeah. Also, yeah. And your mom's friend. I mean, it's a shame. Nobody gets out of here alive. We just have to, we can have our sorrow. Never think you shouldn't be crying. One time I had a friend who lost their spouse, and she would come over here, and it was been about 2-3 years, and she says, I'm sorry to come over here and keep crying to you. And I said, there's no expiration on grief. Never feel bad for your tears. Never feel bad for anything like that. You go ahead and cry. And if you have friends that don't want to listen to you about that, are they really your friend? A friend that loves you will hold you through the whole thing. Okay? Now, you still have to realize they have to work and they have to have time, but they'll always find some time for you. Okay? All right. Okay. So, what do we? Bonnie is general. Jen is general. And Carmen, I don't know if I saw you or not on this. Let me see if I can scroll. I should be able to scroll in here. Well, you know me. Maybe I can't scroll on it. I think. Oh, there I go. Okay, I don't think I see it. Okay, Carmen to Maine. Let me know if you're on here. What she wants, sweetheart. Oh, she wants romance. Okay. Alrighty, so here we go. We were really surprised about Nikki Hilton showing up because there had been a number of years. And but that was nice. So never think how many years has gone by. And sometimes sometimes people aren't asking for the pets, but a deceased loved one will bring the pet in for me or whatever, so that's nice. All right, here we go. Okay. Oh, this is Carmen's. Okay, Carmen, here's your romance, honey. All right. Carmen, it looks like romance is in the work for you, sweetheart. It really does. What you're thinking about, what I have here is the World for you, followed by the Lovers, which is two major arcana cards, followed by the Ten of Pentacles. So what you have here is things coming around. So you do have an admirer, or you'll be looking for one and find him soon. So that's really nice. Now with the Lover card, because when I teach the Lover card, I always say the Lover's card makes it look like, oh, this is going to be great, but you still have to check that out. Now, it would be like, let's put it this way, instead of a boyfriend or whatever, let's pretend it's a dress. You find this dress, I think it'll be wonderful for you for an occasion. You buy the dress, you put it on at home, don't like it. See, that would be the Lover's card. All right. So you tested it out. It's not for you. Okay. So, but this is good. Okay. So keep up the good work, girl. All right. Let's see who's next. Okay, Bonnie, these are your cards. Okay, and Bonnie, this was general. Bonnie, what the cards are saying here, you have the Page of Wands. Okay, now the Page of Wands can be somebody saying something to you, or paper being handed to you, or something like that, but it's usually not bad. It just means like an offer. Yeah, they said no, not really say that. I'm not going to say an offer on this time because the other cards that I got. But what happens? Okay, something came up like that, and things are really slow about that. Nobody's made a major decision, and you're thinking, is it good? Is it bad? But this is what Spirit's telling you to do. Be your Queen of Pentacles. So you have the Page of Wands, like I said, but then you have the Moon card. Now, the Moon card can be a little trippy here. That means you're like walking through muddy waters, and everything's okay, but it's not okay. All right. So just go through that. But then the last card was Queen of Pentacles, otherwise known as what you want, you go after and get. What you are thinking about, you go after and get. Don't let what gets offered to you or anything tell you what your future is. You pick your future and you go to it, and that's what the three cards said. All right. So we have Jen Sanchez, and here we go. And we're doing general for Jen. All right, Jen, the first card you have is called the Hierophant or the Pope, depending on what deck you're dealing with. And that's usually sometimes like, what I say sometimes, it's like a dull card, but it's not dull. What it is, it means there's other things working around with you, but you just don't see it. I call it like a religious card. That's why at one time it was called the Pope in some decks. And everything's fine. So that's a secure spot. So everything was fine. That's the way it was. And then there's happy times. That's what you have now. You have the Six of Cups. But then you have the Hangman. And what does that card mean? It doesn't mean a hanging or anything like that. What it means is you know your answer. Okay? Know your answer. The Hangman sometimes is like your, when people get psychic messages and things like that, or gut intuition, which I say only the Christian church put gut intuition on it. It's psychic messages from the other side. So Jen, be ready for what you already know. Well, that's what the cards are saying. But they're telling you too with the card before this, which doesn't mean the card before this doesn't have anything to do with the future. It does. But socialize, be happy, bring things to bring people together. All right. So that's the tarot card for tonight. I'm sorry if you didn't get pulled. And Andrew has nothing to do with it. All he does is ask spirit and put his hand in the bowl. All right. So here we go. So let's do the healing, and then let's see next. Oh, let's see. That's right. Sunday. Yes, I will be here next Sunday. I've got a couple parties this coming weekend. I will be here Sunday, so I will be live on Sunday next week. Okay, that made me happy too because I really enjoyed spending this time. I enjoy um, telling you some things that you know nobody would ever really say to you. And that's why Spirit, I told you years ago, would wake me up in the middle of the night. And when I woke up in the morning, you got to be teaching, you got to be teaching. And I'm teaching, but I'll teach more. But here we go. All right. So here we go with the healing. Now, remember, if you'd like to accept the healing, palms up. If you just like to say, well, what the heck's she doing? Palms down, which means you're not going to get healed. All right. You can turn it on or you can shut it down. All right. And that's fine with me. All right, so here we go. Now, the first thing you got to do is have your blood loosey-goosey and flowing. That makes it more accepts the body. The body accepts it better. Also, what you got to do is it's good to close your eyes. I mean, you can do this with your eyes open, but with closed eyes, it will enter easier. All right, so let's make spirits work a little easier for spirit. All right, so here we go. All right. I do have a little pet that's coming in here right now. This pet's pretty much all black. I'm not saying this is your kitten and all, Michelle. I know you were on here earlier saying that, but I have a black cat here, black cat, but it's all good. It's a loving cat. I don't know if that's yours. I don't know who this is. This one's black. It does have the like amber color eyes and very nice. I'm trying to see if there's any white on it. I've asked, and I don't think it was all black. I do think there's some white on it. I'm going to say it might have been around at the paw or something, like the tips. I'm seeing that one now. Spirit's letting that one come through. I'm not letting all deceased in here. If Spirit pushes one through, that's for Spirit to do for me right now. Okay? All right. So now I'm going to go with the healing. All right. And everybody inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. And let me clean some energy around you. There we go. Very good, very good, very good, very good. And let me take out some of this pain and sadness and to give you strength for what you're going through in this coming week and the next week. Strength and any broken hearts. Life is a lot of your heart breaking because you care. And it's sad that you care, and it's sad that your heart breaks, but be thankful you have a heart that cares because there's a lot of people in this world that don't have hearts that care. Okay? So be proud of that. If you cry, be proud of it because it means you care. Because someone asked me, I'm still sending the healing while I'm doing this. Somebody asked me a few weeks ago to talk about what is my life purpose. It's such an easy answer. You're here to help and love one another. Have your life, do what you want, enjoy yourself. We're given a long leash to do what we want to do, but love and help one another. That's what you're all here for. Okay, here we go. All right, suck this in as you get it. And release. Let's do it again. Suck it in. And release. And it goes up. And exhale. Well, thank you so much for being with me. And remember, that pretty little flashing light over my head is the ceiling fan and the light. It's not Sandy this week. All right. Well, you all take care. Have a blessed week. And I'm here. And if you'd like to schedule a reading or a healing, just go to my website, judyk.net, or you can contact me here on Facebook. Because if you're on here, we're all on Facebook. And don't forget my YouTube channel. All right. You take care. Okay. See you next week. Bye for now.